Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. This is John with Tommy's Top Picks here to bring you your weekly flesh and blood market update. Let's go. Not a whole lot this week. Some good news. All of it is upwards except for an honorable mention. So that's cool. That's very cool. But not a lot to talk about, so let's just jump in and get in it. Arc, first edition only. Everything Unlimited did nothing, basically. Arc first edition, up 5.61% to 1800 from 1699. We've seen it at this price before. In fact, I think we even said last week when this dipped down, let's see if it recovers or drifts down. Long term, medium term, I guess now, over the next 6 months, depending on market conditions, I suspect a continual drift down or downward pressure. At least maybe it keeps getting bought back up. I could see that. It is very limited. There is not many of these boxes left in the world, so I've always thought it was crazy that it was this low in the first place. But people need money to travel, whatever. There's reasons. That's how macroeconomics works. Moving on, Everfest is up 7.81%. To 64 from 59. We were there a month ago, so not too special, but I do feel like this continual upward pressure, this bumping into the ceiling, will eventually yield and it may go higher. I think the news about Everfest being destroyed, the Unlimited being destroyed, that James White said in the interview in Queensland, is definitely going to have an impact, right? I believe it's the third or fourth most rare printing of all Flesh and Blood sealed product, because it doesn't have an unlimited. The other things around that time had unlimited. So I think it's, I think it would be fourth, right? Or no, because WTR had that big unlimited. So if you combine unlimited and first, I think Everfest is the third smallest ARC crew, and then Everfest, or maybe crew ARC. I'm not sure which one had more. Let me know in the comments if you know. But yeah, that's definitely having an impact. It's also a very playable, very good set with cards that people still need. So I can just see that becoming a hot item sooner than most things. That said, there's a lot of it out there. I myself hold multiple cases of it because I bought it and I was hyped about it. And I love it, and that's why I bought it. I'm sure there's supply out there somewhere, so I wouldn't get too excited yet, but the fact that there's no unlimited is definitely a positive bit of news for how they're treating the product, the secondary market, etc. I love it. Moving on down to our aforementioned honorable mention, Evo is down 4.55% to 66 from 69. Nothing really special there. It's post-release. Boredom is maximum. Heavy hitters is just around the corner. This is exactly what we see every time. Nothing at all remarkable. Moving on to cases. First edition Everfest up 8.11%. We'll look at the charts on this one. But this is 2 weeks in a row of upward movement on the case level. I think this is a factor and related to the news. I do think that's probably the the news pressure pushing it upwards so that it is going to achieve new highs at some point. Will that be today? I don't know. Will that be in the short term? Maybe. Will it be in the medium term? Questionable. I do still think macro pressures are going to be a factor overall. I'm just looking back to see what is our highest number for this set. It was in the 300s. Okay, as far back as I have, which it was already out when I started this process, is 361. It basically just came down from there the whole time. I mean, it had ups and downs along the way, but nothing moves linearly. Everything moves, I don't know, monotonically. Is that correct? I'm not sure if that's the right word. Anyways, moving on, Everfest is going to be a hot product overall. Will it run out soon? I don't think so, but it will run out sooner than most things. So you'll see your ARCs, your WTRs, your crews kind of cruising up around the same speed, timing, etc. as Everfest is my suspicion. Let's jump into some cards. I have some sad news on this front, not to make you sad, but oh man, I hate when the filter pops up. Let's see if I can get rid of it. There we go. Nope, there we go. All right, cool. Was looking at gold foils, and sadly, there are a lot listed. It was once completely bought out. You couldn't keep one on here to save your life. Now they're sitting here with things like Mage Masters and iconic cards like Nullrune, which I know isn't very playable anymore, having 3 listings at $8.99. and not selling. Yeah, and this is a legendary at 1590. And yeah, I mean, I know it's not super iconic or anything because it wasn't massively used, but this is another legendary at 1500. These gold foils are getting cheaper than I would have expected. And the other side is not even all of them are listed. Like most of them have this golden in the title, but I can tell you by looking at the fab number here, which is on the gold foil prize card thing. They have a listing of every single gold foil number. If you look up by the number, there are other listings. They just aren't called golden. So if you are looking to buy these, you might be able to find some deals just going through the fab numbers that are not here and seeing stuff that's been sitting for a long time because it doesn't show up when you do golden. Just a question. I don't know if that's real. I don't know how long this is going to last, but it's definitely a factor right now because these used to not exist on here at all. And now they do. So that sucks. Speaking of these listings, it also gives you the population that are in the wild versus the number total, right? So the number pooled, like here's the Shriek Razors legendary. Shriek Razors. I don't even know what that is. Anyways, there's one out in the world out of 40. So you kind of get an idea of how many are in circulation, unallocated, which can lead to some, differences at these generic ones. You can get the percentages over here. So it's pretty interesting here how that plays out. Obviously, iconic things, Rosetta Thorn is going to be different than, I'm trying to think of one that's kind of boring. Iris of Reality, right? No one really used that. Now that might change if a new Prism is all blue or new Illusionist is all blue and that becomes the key card or something. Oh no, is Iris banned? No. Luminaris was banned with Prism. So yeah. Anyways, point being that it is definitely player driven. It is iconic driven. So the ones that are iconic are going to have a higher premium, even than some of the legendaries I think that are not iconic. So something to think about when looking at these gold foil cards. I think it's interesting and unfortunate that there's so many listed and not selling even at these prices, which I think are pretty good. I don't know Mage Master Boots. I know it was a combo piece for a while. I just don't know how iconic it was. The Null Runes I figured would be key because they were key for so long in the game, but I guess not. $8.99, 3 listings, not selling. Weird. Anyways, just thought I'd point that out. Moving into charts, let's look at Everfest first edition, and that will probably be it for today. Sorry for the short one. The market did not do much, so I just don't have that much to report on. Yeah, look at this thing climb. This is wild. Yeah, Everfest is spiking. It's very clear, and cases are spiking faster and reverting to the mean of the rise for the box price, which is pretty cool. So when you revert to the mean and the market pressure is upward, the mean is still going up. So it's kind of cool. We haven't seen that in a while in Flesh and Blood, and I hope it continues for a bit. Obviously, we don't want to bubble out and explode and cause a crash and make people angry and all that stuff. But a nice upward pressure because people realize some of this stuff is rare and valuable. They did it, in my opinion, good job on the print runs overall, and burning the extra was the key. I think that was amazing. I think Tommy and I in the was it the podcast? It may have been the podcast. Speculated on what that looks like because he mentioned it wasn't just Everfest that had cards destroyed. I am guessing a boatload of Tales of Aria, and he didn't say this, but I'm guessing a boatload of Tales of Aria was also destroyed, unlimited that is. So worth keeping an eye on that one. A little bit of a stealth move there. We'll keep an eye on the charts. Let's just take a look at the chart. I don't think it has any impact yet because I don't think anyone else believes it. Yeah, no, it's still on generally a downward trend or a flat trend, we'll say, because that's more a reversion to the mean, and just kind of it overshot, but that happens when you come down from a big spike like that. So yeah, anyways, that is kind of the market conditions right now. I do think maybe next 3 years or so. You got to remember, Flesh and Blood was launched with a 7-year plan, and I imagine they've stayed ahead of it the whole time. So they're thinking in 2 or 3 year increments. So I imagine in the next 2 or 3 years, we're going to see some of this stuff start to really dry up, and then it will be a question as to what happens there. But I do think we'll see some prices spike again kind of like we did see on was it Unlimited Arc, right? It's at this 102 range, which is way above everything else in the Unlimited world. So I think we're going to see these kind of like new plateaus for a lot of products start to pop up over the next 2 years or so. Measure that against their ability to continue to grow, which again, they doubled the size of their staff to do PvE, which I think is their entry point product they're going to try to launch. I don't know if it comes out this year, next year, etc. And then the other side of it is the macroeconomic environment. If we get a massive economic burn and everyone loses their job, obviously it's going to have downward pressure on this stuff, right? There's just no way around that. I don't think we're heading for that, not like a massive crash, but we may end up getting, a recession or some declined growth for a while, which would have some negative impact. I wouldn't say it would be a huge negative impact because a lot of this stuff would probably be resistant to a minor downturn, just because people aren't going to give up, their collections if they're not in desperation, right? They might give up a few products here and there, hence there'll be a minor downward pressure on it, but I don't think they're going to like dump product to like pay their mortgage, right? Which is what happens when things really crash, and that's where you get the really steep downward pressure. So as general assets, that's just how it goes, and that is my thoughts there. None of it is financial advice, as always. I hope you're out there cracking packs, playing games, enjoying your heavy hitters. That should be tomorrow for some of you, the day after for others, and pre-release, that is, and enjoying this lovely hobby that we all love. Until next time, have a good one.